Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella. There are a lot of versions of if you were stranded on a deserted island, what would you take? Or who would you take? Or now it's kind of been spun into, based on the last movie you watched or the last book you read, which characters are with you, right? And we love to kind of think these things through, and they're fun and funny. A lot of times when we think that through, some of us who call ourselves Christians would say, well, I'm going to outsmart the whole thing and say, the one person I'm going to bring is Jesus, and I'm good, right? That's the perfect Bible study, Bible school, Sunday school answer. But this time, that's not the answer. I want to tell you a story about my life and how it connects to this if you were stranded on a deserted island concept. A long time ago, I found myself in a really dark spot, probably one of the hardest spots in my life. I felt very alone. I was in the middle of ministry and felt like I couldn't really talk to anybody. And it was a really tough spot. And I kept trying to shoulder the load on my own and do it all myself. Like you're supposed, we think we're supposed to, right? And I remember having a friend, I was a walking zombie. And I remember having a friend just reach out and saying like, dude, you're not all right. What's up? And I didn't want to talk about it. I still wanted to be alone in it. I still wanted to sit in my, I'll say my proverbial mud puddle. I just wanted to sit in it. But he said, why don't you just come over, hang out. And I remember the time that he texted me, it didn't work for me to go hang out, but I did take him up on the offer. And we didn't even talk about anything. I went over and I did laundry and homework at his house. That's it. We didn't even dig into anything. We didn't unpack the issues. I did laundry and homework. That's it. And I was in my own deserted island. I was on it all by myself. And to be honest, I wanted to be all by myself. But in tough times, the first step is find God. And there are times where throughout the entire Bible, there are examples of where God shows up in front of us through others. And so the first step is find God. The second step is find friends. Sometimes those friends don't even need to have the right words. You don't need to say the perfect thing. You just need to be there and show up. And so there's a really cool story in the Bible that illustrates this. It's actually in Exodus. So way back when the Israelites are trying to be free and Moses is leading the Israelites, in Exodus 17, 8 through 13, the Amalek comes to Israel comes to fight the Israelites, right? And then Moses says, okay, Joshua, we got a war on our hands. Get some soldiers, get ready, go fight. Moses, his brother Aaron, and Hur go up to a mountain to observe, but also to pray. And so as the story goes, Moses on top of the hill, he would raise his hands and pray to God to help the Israelites. And whenever he was raising his hands and praying, Joshua and the soldiers would start to win. But just like screwing in a light bulb, if you do this long enough, your arm gets tired. And so Moses started to drop. And anytime his arms dropped, the Israelites started to be overcome again by Amalek. And so they kept doing kind of this motion for a while, and Aaron and Hur decided, you know what? This is the time that Moses needs us. And I think if I were Moses, I'd be sitting there nope, it's mine alone to bear. I can do this, right? But they pulled up a rock, and they had him sit down on that rock. And Aaron held one arm, and Hur held the other. And Moses kept his hands connected. He continued to be able to pray, and the Israelites were able to overtake Amalek. And I just love the story because it's so clear. Again, we need to find God in tough times, for sure. And there are times where we're tired, we're exhausted. I want to be connected to God, but everything I have left leaves me in a puddle by myself. And sometimes we need friends to scoop us up, come alongside us, and help us stay connected to God. They may not physically hold our arms up, but every time we start to want to pull away from God because of what's going on in our lives, friends can come alongside us and say, hey, Let's sit. Let's talk. What can I do to help? So this week, as you engage your faith, consider this: if you were stranded on a deserted island concept, who would you bring with you? Who are the friends who keep you connected to God, who keep you healthy, who check you when you need it, who hold you accountable? That's one side. And then on the other side, who do you think would be inviting you? Are you in a spot where you are that for somebody else, or who might need you to show up right now when they want to be all alone on their island? Who can you text, call, contact right now? Because in tough times, we need to find friends. Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.